We the chosen ones created on this earth just to win. But we losing cause we choosing to live our life full of sin. But the awakening is coming and we rising again. I said the awakening is coming and we rising again. Yeah, the awakening is coming and we rising again. And the sin that we live in is simply ignorant niggas. Come on, y'all. We gotta be better than that. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. The history of the N-word. Don't get mad at me. Are we free?
The decisions that you make.
Might tell me, are we free? Oh, yeah, that's my man, Sherman Wells. They call him Boss Man. That song's called Sin. Without a doubt. Getting everything situated this morning. You know, sometimes you have technical difficulties, but today is Winning Women Wednesday. We wanted to make sure that you guys are purposeful on acknowledging the women in your lives. From your daughter, all the way to your great whomever. Oh, yeah, let's get it done today. Let's show some love to those that birthed everybody. Without a doubt. All right, y'all. It's warmer today. It is warmer today. I feel it's 10 degrees outside. Yeah, it's warm. I know it's going to get even colder this weekend. So if you got something to do, maybe you want to get it done today. It's going to be a little warmer today than it has been the past 2 days. So if you need to get something done, get it done. Or if you want to look out for your neighbor, get it done for your neighbor as you go along your way. It is cold. I want to thank those that have signed my petition to get on the ballot. Even in this cold weather, people have been stopping. I want to thank my volunteers for, helping me, achieve this mission. They've been out there in the cold, so I want to show my appreciation and want to thank them. We're still looking for more volunteers. If you want to volunteer, please give me a call. Text me 402-714-6482. Let's get involved in the process. If you want to be part of the change, give me a call. Or if you want to be part of the same, I'm not going to hear from you. I'm not going to hear from you because you want to be part of the same. But if you want to be part of the change, give me a call. I'm running for mayor of Omaha 2021. I met with the pastors yesterday. Oh, yeah. I met with the pastors, and y'all know that y'all know I love the pastors. It's called tough love. We used to do that in Hilltop Projects. You get that tough love. It's still love, but it's tough love. No, but it was I was nervous walking in the room over at Mount Nebo. Shouts out to Pastor RV. Yep. Shouts out to Pastor RV over there. He hosted an event. They had the mayoral candidates, appeal to the clergy. Let them know where we stand as candidates. And I want to thank them for allowing us, share some time and space with them, without a doubt. Like I said, I was nervous because that I'm kind of, I talk about everybody. And when I walked in the room with all those preachers and bishops, it was very, very humbling. It kind of remind you can't bite the hand that's feeding you, or you asking to get fed. Oh yeah. The spirit came in me. Oh yeah. You got to be humble when you're around spiritual men, and so it was a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful experience. We're very candid of my criticism, and I promised. Oh yeah, I promised in Nebo that I'll lighten up. All right. You see me smiling. You see me if you guys are if you are in your cars are smiling right now, kind of like that little, I don't want to say devilish smile. I would say an angel smile where my eyes moving side to side. Yeah, I'm gonna be nice to my brethren that's in the clergy. I know they have a tough job, trying to save souls. That's I guess I'm in the soul saving game too. So we are. It's a tough game. It's a tough game when you're trying to save souls. Oh yeah, when you're trying to change the narrative, change yourself, your community, your family. It's a tough task. I had a show on Channel 22 called Positive Havoc. I used to run a recruiting basketball camp for those that slipped through the cracks. So, they might got a GED, they might got cut. I got cut before. And so we created this basketball camp myself. Skip Carter was instrumental in that. And God rest his soul, Alonzo Mitch, my teammate in high school. And they supported me in regards to getting young people in college. Mitch and Skip still continue that journey until Mitch died last year. And so we've got a lot of young men and women in college. That's what I did after I left school. Well, after I graduated from school. Sorry about that. After I graduated from school, I came back to the community and helped our neighbors. Without a doubt, we did it for real. And so I ran the Positive Havoc college basketball recruiting camp for almost 10 years. I even did a camp up in Washington, D.C. at the Boys and Girls Club up there. And so we're going to have some of the young men and some of the young women that have got scholarships through my nonprofit, Positive Havoc. Started that nonprofit after leaving, the probation office. I was a probation officer for almost 8 years. And so I got experience, and that's why I'm running for mayor. A lot of people don't know my background, but I'm telling you now, I'm letting you know now. I knows peoples, without a doubt, based off of my work experience and based off the ethics that my mother taught me. And hopefully you'll learn a little bit also. She has always taught me if someone treats you good, you treat them better because you might need them one day. And that has always been a fact. All the yeses that I'm getting today, all the answers, all the yeses that I'm receiving today is because of work of yesterday. See how God worked? God, boy. See, even yesterday start with yes, the root word yes. And so I'm getting yeses today, and you should be getting yeses today. If you ask someone for something, I don't know what it is, but if you're asking them for something and it's crucial that you get it, and you need that yes today depend on the work that you did yesterday. Yeah, it's what you did yesterday. And so that's why we acknowledge the Winning Women Wednesdays. Sometimes we don't treat our women right. Sometimes what we did yesterday, we're not getting yeses today because of what we did yesterday. And so I want to encourage all of us, male, female, young and old, just acknowledge the women in your lives. Oh yeah, change what happened yesterday. You have today to do it. Here at The Boss, we are a research radio station, the first of its kind. Without a doubt, baby. Our goal is to improve self, family, and community. I do this consistently. So when other people are running for office and you see them all the time, they run for office, and then you don't see, after they lose, you don't see them no more. Oh yeah, you don't hear from them no more. I'm gonna be here. I've been here. I'm from here. I ain't gonna leave here. Period. And so, if you want someone that you can depend on, oh yeah, someone you could trust. I ain't gonna take the money. I ain't gonna take the money. See, I'm self-made. No one made me. God made me. My mama and my daddy made me. Ain't no sellout. So you got to worry about who made them, or did someone make them? I'm self-made. Built 2 businesses. It's not bragging. It's just facts. We need to send people that know how to build. North Omaha, in particularly, needs someone that know how to build businesses. We don't need another mind frame of non-prophecy. We need economic development, and we need someone to come with a plan in regards to making sure that we prioritize fairly. The only way to do that is to govern from the ground up. Oh yeah, govern from the ground up. See, I know y'all ain't never heard that before, because y'all want to be part of the same versus being part of the change. See, y'all used to a government from the top down. You got a few people making the decisions for the whole. Oh no, man. See, y'all got it wrong. See, as a social scientist, I brag off my education, because some of y'all encourage people don't get the education. See, I brag off mine. I brag off my education because my mother couldn't read or write, because she had to pick cotton for y'all for free. And I know y'all had ancestors that picked cotton for y'all for free, and you show no respect. Yeah, it's Black History Month, y'all. And I got to go with the facts. I've been playing history from, our great leaders from the past. And I've been asking the question, are we still dealing with the same situations from the 60s, the 70s, and 50s? And so far, it's been yes, we are dealing with the same situation. So what's wrong? Is it our fault? Is it their fault? I think it's all our fault. We have to participate. That's why I'm running for mayor, to change the game, man. Change the narrative. You don't have to worry about me running from a table because it's time to negotiate and some hard words are being said, 4-letter words in particularly. Or if they want to say a 6-letter word, starting with an N, whatever. We got to send people in the room that can handle the negotiation for freedom. And freedom is different leadership. Different leadership. And for my peoples, my white brothers and sisters, oh yeah, they my peoples. This is a collective effort. If you say you're Christian, well, let's do some Christian things. You say you believe in Jesus, let's do some Jesus things then. The only way to repent is to actually put it in action. Words don't Well, I mean, word of words are words. Everybody need to be in this game of change. So I need votes from everyone. I need votes for everyone. A lot of people don't know. For if you're riding in your cars, I am tall, dark, and handsome. I'm a black man. The goal is to lead the whole city, so you don't have to fear the black man. And we can talk about these things in the open because we had focus groups on uh, on h- on what people or how people perceived North Omaha. Yes, we did focus groups uh, with Heartland over in Heartland. Work, I think work. Uh, Forgive me, brother Sosa. Heartland over in South Omaha, South 24th Street, was working on focus groups on perceptions on each other and biases on and that we have on each other. So I know how people perceive North Omaha. They feel North Omaha is dangerous. And they feel that everyone over here in North Omaha is dangerous, especially if you're a black man and you're a little bit darker skin like myself. I don't know if they fear me or not, but that's the ingrained propaganda that has been perpetuated for centuries. So let's go over the fear of leadership from a black man. You know, Omaha has never had a black mayor. Had its first female mayor, Mayor Stouther, our current mayor, but had never had a black mayor. Brenda Consul got close. I think she lost by less than a couple thousand votes, I think. Black people, they come out and vote like they should have. She would have won. We have the numbers. So we call this Winning Women Wednesday. And one of the main reasons because we have a lot of dead women. My mother in particular that have struggled to make sure their families survive. We have a lot of mothers and grandmothers that have died because of racism. It was in the World Herald last year. If you live in certain zip codes, you die 10 years earlier than zip codes west of 72nd Street. You're only talking about a mile, 2 mile difference, and we're dying 10 years, 15 years earlier than our counterparts that live past 72nd Streets in the suburbs. This is just reality. We have to participate in our survival. People always talk about gentrification, but what is our plan to reverse gentrification? No one's talking about that. We need different leadership that can bring different dialogue to the game. We can't continue to do the same thing, expect these same results. This is going to take us years and centuries at this pace in order to make change. We have to send bold leadership that can get it done. You have to. The election is coming up. City elections are coming up April 9th. General elections coming up in, I think, May 9th. We're close. So if you're in the area, pull up on me. I have my petitions here. I still need probably about maybe 300 more signatures. In order to run for the mayor, you need to get 1,000 signatures. You know, this weather has been hampering, the situations. But I want to thank my volunteers for doing what they do during this time. So our radio station is located at 2314 North 24th Street. We're 1 block south of Lake. Pull up on me, honk, I'll come out. You can sign my petition. And keep it rolling. All right. We're going to do it like that today. And also, I'm looking for a video to play. I don't know if you guys got a suggestion on who you'll love to hear. I'm going to play this brother. His name is called Paul Robeson. And if you don't know Paul Robeson, it's Robeson. You need to research. We're going to listen to one of his interviews from 1958. And the reason why I'm playing, it's Black History, but also Black history consists of the struggle of Black folk. I know they don't put it in the history books. I'm tough on OPS in regards to making sure that Black history is in every history catalog. When you don't put the contributions of Black folks, then it creates ignorance for everyone. People legitimately can say that Black people haven't done nothing because it's not written in the history books, American history books. We are Americans. We are Americans. Let's remember that. Good morning, Mr. Lewis, Miss Sessions. How's everybody doing this morning on social media? Make sure you guys go to our YouTube page, like our YouTube page, go to our Facebook page. Also, again, today is Winning Women Wednesday. I'm going to play a speech by Paul Robeson. Paul Robeson is a famous. Y'all research him. I'll come back and let you know who he is, but he's a famous actor, politician, community revolutionary. And so this speech is this interview is from 1958. I want you to see if we've made progress or if we're still fighting for the same things. Again, you listen to 95.7 The Boss. It's Black History 2021. It's our responsibility to make sure that our young people have a smoother road than we. Here at 95.7 The Boss, we do not participate in the ignorance. Without a doubt, baby. Without a doubt. So check this out. This speech is going to be by Paul Robeson. It's about 10 minutes long. It's an interview that he did on hold on a second. Let me make sure. Interview he did on KPFA radio in 1958. So let me know what you guys think. Paul Robeson speaks. My politics embrace the common struggle of all oppressed people. Paul Robeson. All right. This is an interview for 1958. Check this one out. Paul Robeson, Robeson. I encourage you to research him. He was one of the brothers that was part of the struggle of freedom. Boss with me.
Winkler, who is president of Pacifica Foundation, which operates FA, as most of you know. Mr. has been known and loved as an artist all over the world for many years, but he has also, I believe, attracted considerable and worldwide attention in his role as a world citizen and as a person who was very deeply concerned about the society in which he lived. I wonder, Mr. Robeson, if we could kick off by asking, when did you first become involved in the political aspects of.
May I first say how happy I am and privileged to be with you here, and how deeply I thank this station for its kindness throughout the years. I've been on 2 or 3 others this time, but always have been, know I've had a welcome here, so I want to thank you. I would say, as I indicate in a recent book, which is now out, will be on the stands pretty soon, Here I Stand, Story My Life as I Tell It, not too autobiographical. It began when I was a little boy in Princeton, New Jersey. Strange to say. Technically, this is the shaping of my views, a Negro boy born in Princeton, New Jersey.
I can give you this $50,000, or I can actually show you how to make this every single.
In a college town where the students mainly came from the deep South. You know, Princeton, Harvard, and Yale was the sort of the Southern University of the North, whether you know that or not. And so I grew up in Jersey in a rather Southern atmosphere. And my father was a minister, and I was shaped against that background. Technically, I entered the arena in the United States of fighting for social justice for my people in a concert, when I was in a concert in St. Louis in 1947, in the Post-Dispatch, where I was singing at the Kiel Auditorium, one of the big auditoriums there. And the NAACP asked me in St. Louis at that time to come on a picket line because Negro people could not even sit in the theater, which was just across the street. And so I grabbed a banner, and lo and behold, I saw Walter Houston coming down the street. He was in the play. So Walter walked out and joined the picket line too. And a few nights later, when I was doing the concert, I said that I could not quite resolve the contradiction between singing to an audience in St. Louis, where there was no segregation, of course, but also the same people had not, to my mind, were not fighting to see that my people could sit in the theater. It's been corrected since. And so I said that I was giving up my career technically for the moment to enter the realm of the day-to-day struggle of the Negro people especially.
And this was your first political action?
That was within this context. This is very important to get in the context. My first actual, to come back to your question, was in London in 1933. It isn't very well known, which I clarify in the book, that I went to play Showboat in London in 1928. Jerry Kern was with me and Oscar Hammerstein, and we had a great success. And then I did concerts in 1928, and I became domiciled and lived in England, domiciled there, paid my taxes there from 1928 until 1940, after the war began.
Does this mean, Mr. Robeson, that you spent most of your time in England during this period?
It meant that I came back now and then for concerts. I was here in Oakland many times, but I went back and spent most of my time in Great Britain.
Why?
True. I was there in 1930, played Othello. So again, this is extremely important. At that time, I said for the public to see that I felt, I would explain it today in this light. We understand why many of people have come to Oakland, to the vicinity from Mississippi and from the South. There have been migrations into California, I understand today, from everywhere. But for many years, as you know, many of my people have left the South because the conditions in the North were better, okay? I felt the pressure so much in 1928 that instead of stopping in New York, I just went on to London. That clear.
And did you feel no pressure there in the racial sense?
I felt nowhere near the pressure. Now, that does not mean that you haven't the background of the English colonies and so forth.
Yes, I wonder.
The pressure, but I say it's a difference between right here now and say, let's say the Mississippi of Mr. Eastland, you understand?
Yes.
This is quite different. So America's quite different. There are great differences. So I found England that much more of a difference, that's all. I found Canada that way. When I was playing Othello some years ago, when we got to Toronto, the cast said to me after a week, well, Paul, why are you so different? The play is much deeper. You seem to be freer. I said, that's quite true. That's quite true. I'm in a country where there is no, this is not a question. I'm on a theater, on a stage with many other white actors. This is not a problem here. So obviously I feel freer. That's right. I'm in a different, I don't feel the pressures that one would feel in the Deep South all the time, but it would interest you to know, and I've put it, that I feel any Negro, if he were honest, would have to say that even in our democracy as at present, that he is never any 1 second unconscious of the fact that he is a Black American or a colored American. He can never be unconscious of it in any part of the United States.
Mr. Robeson, have you been back to England since the last war?
Oh, yes, I was back in 49.
The point I wanted
And
to get
50.
at is that when I was in England last year, I became aware of the large number of West Indians
true.
who are now about London. And I heard rather nasty overtones
That's
in
right.
my talks with some Englishmen that frightened me
No question
about a
it.
change that
That's
might
right.
take place in England.
No, I again, if you want to go further into it, nothing could be worse than South Africa. And I'm only saying I put these things down. What is most important is that at the height, having lived many years out and enjoying certainly the height of success in Great Britain, that I decided that I must come back to my own country to struggle in this and to make the sacrifices that I have. That's the most important thing in this regard. And I am here.
Now, wait, would you
Yes.
spell this out again for me? You left England because England is not as attractive, or
Oh,
because
no,
you
no.
feel you have a greater mission in the United States?
No. Let's don't get into that. There are many places in the world where personally it would be much easier to live than in the United States for an American Negro.
In other words, your commitment is definitely to what you feel you can do
That's right.
in this country.
That's right. And Langston Hughes, in a book discussion before the book club in New York just a while ago, pointed out that every important Negro novelist, not only Richard Wright, but many others, that the great 95% of them live in Paris or somewhere else in the world. Why? Because the pressures personally are much simpler.
And yet, in the foreword of your book that I have before me, you quote Frederick Douglass as saying, "A man is worked on by what he works on.
That's right.
He may carve out his circumstances, but his circumstances will carve him out as well."
That's right.
Is this part of the reason why you feel that you must be back in the United States?
I made the decision some years ago. I say certainly that I spring essentially from here, like you threw the other day about the Indians in North Carolina. If you recall, that was in Robeson County.
Yes, I noticed that in the item.
Now, this is a very interesting thing, which I point out in my book, and which explains a good deal, too, of how I feel. Now, I was born on the edge of Robeson County, and my father is a Robeson and was a Robeson because he was a slave, my own father, a slave of the Scottish Robesons who still control Robeson County in North Carolina. So I approach these problems from a very close point. But I have a home, and my people are tobacco workers and sharecroppers today on plantations in that county. But a part of that soil belongs to me. That's my roots. These are my roots in this country. On the other hand, also, I felt that so somewhere the contributions that I had could make some contribution from my background traveling about the world. However, I never expected, I am quite willing to say, that I would be restricted from traveling.
Yes.
Well, tell me, Mr. Robeson, was your commitment to the political scene then largely as a result of your feeling about your own people, or our own people, let's put it?
Yeah.
Or did it have other overtones of
I say
political
first, like,
conviction?
yes, first, it starts as an American Negro interested in my own people. The other great change is very constant in my mind. I was in the Welsh Valley, and the Welsh people sing very much like we do in the Negro people.
Yes, I've heard
Many
them.
of our songs, beautiful songs. And I was one of the few outsiders who has sung at a Welsh Eisteddfod, their national festival, which has gone on since the time of the Druids. And I went down in the mines with the workers, and they explained to me that, Paul, you may be successful here in England, but your people suffer like ours. We are poor people, and you belong to us. You don't belong to the bigwigs here in this country. And so I today feel as much at home in the Welsh Valley as I would in my own Negro section, any city in the United States. And I just did a broadcast by transatlantic cable to the Welsh Valley a few weeks ago. And here was the first understanding that the struggle of the Negro people, or of any people, cannot be by itself. That it is a human struggle. And so I was attracted then to met many members of the Labour Party, and my politics embraced also the common struggle of all oppressed peoples, including especially the working masses, specifically the laboring people of all the world. And that defines my philosophy. It's a joining one of, we are a working people, a laboring people, the Negro people. And there is a unity between our struggle and those of white workers in the South. I've had white workers shake my hand and say, Paul, we're fighting for the same thing. And so this defines my attitude toward socialism and toward many other things in the world. I do not believe that a few people should control the wealth of any land. that it should be a collective ownership in the interest of all.
Is that a democratic socialism, or?
I would have to be a democratic socialism. There are many ways, however, to struggle toward democracy, as I see that in a place like China, for example, today, the Soviet Union, many other places, or take our own problems of Negroes. If we were free in the South tomorrow to carry our weight, to vote into everything, would we now look around and try to find the 10 billionaires among our people? Would we attempt to build them up, or would we try to answer the needs of the great millions of our people? And so I see other ways of life, socialism, as trying to solve the problems of millions and tens of millions of peoples at once, in a way, instead of we would start from the individual to the masses, they start from the masses this way. Now, there are two ways, and there are difficulties each way. I have made the decision to join in a collective struggle, and the reason that my personal sacrifices mean very little in the struggle. In one way, when you see the children at Little Rock, what does not giving a few concerts mean if you can make some other contribution? It's in that context. So nothing is perfect in the world. We're going toward it from different angles. I feel is a great burden of proof on every society, on our own as well today. On our own as well.
Mr. Robeson, some years ago, I was talking to a French member of the Communist Party.
Yes.
And in the course of our discussion, he said to me, you, Mr. Winkler, are a Jeffersonian Democrat.
Yes.
You can afford it in your rich land. But in my land and in other lands, we must give up our freedom now to certain men in order to achieve freedom for our children in the future. This is an act of faith for me, he said, giving up my freedom now. Do you find yourself sympathetic with?
I don't think that is, I would put it quite differently. Nor do I think that's any part of any socialist philosophy or communist philosophy, as far as I know. That we struck it during the war under Roosevelt, for example. We had to give up many privileges. They're practically telling us we have to do that again. I mean, in any sort of a war economy, in England, for example, they have not eaten eggs almost for years and years because of certain pressures. And it seems to me in the socialist lands, the Soviet Union, China, and many places, that's quite true. It's one thing to say today that they don't have as shining apparel as we do, but they have made tremendous scientific progress. And within one generation, so to speak, within 40 years, have become one of the most powerful countries in the world. Now, they've done it by great sacrifices, and not by, to my mind, they feel that the country, in one sense, the man in the street, may not in every essence belong to him, but he feels it's much more his than, say, I do in Charleston, South Carolina, when one Southern American Negro explained to me that I was in the state of our great plantations. I said, are you sure about that? Our great plantations? I don't feel that they're my plantations. But in one sense, some of the people in socialist lands feel that the country does belong to them in a real sense. Now, there are, and as far as the basic concept of the dictatorship of the proletariat and so forth, I would say, again, bring it back to our own history. There was, as we know, a dictatorship of the North over the South in the days following the Civil War. When that dictatorship was removed, the colored people reverted practically into a kind of servitude. I could have conceived of a dictatorship over the South for quite a longer period, from my point of view, quite frankly.
Friends would walk up to me and just be like, what the
So this is understandable.
Yes. In your book, Mr. Robeson, Here I Stand, you have a chapter entitled The Power of Negro Action.
That's right.
What are some of the specific acts which you recommend, and perhaps in the order of priority?
Well, I say in any Negro life, you would say that nobody, seems to be rather startling to many of my friends. Nobody would be startled, say, with taking the vote, the power of Italian action, or Polish action in Detroit, or Catholic action in New York, and so forth. I mean, that the vote would be a block, and the power of the Negro vote in the North in certain states. This is one very important aspect, very clear. A kind of, we have tremendous economic power in this land today. There should be tremendous support of Negro business, of Negro banks and so forth, of loan associations and so forth. But the prime thing is that I'm convinced that yes,
Taking this last illustration of yours, have you not found that as Negro bankers become richer, that they grow away from your people?
no, I don't. I
Or
know
do they remain a part of total Negro action?
There's no way for, as I said before, for any American Negro, however wealthy, however famous, to be anything at this period of our history at some point than an American Negro. If he doesn't
that
know
I
it,
can see
if he
from
doesn't know it, he'll find it out.
from a racial standpoint,
find it
Mr.
out.
Robeson, but from the political standpoint of socialism, which you were discussing a few moments ago, surely a capitalist, if he had the opportunity, would undoubtedly behave according to the lights of his own.
He has to, but I know many of the most wealthy, and they often I feel that they don't help as much as they should. But he's forever conscious his children suffer the same things as the poor Negro's children, and at some point he finds a way to help. It's a little different even there. But that is
In other words, you feel it cracks through in a different way.
But I really not. What I'm trying to say is that somewhere for our own dignity, I see that is Africa. Would you understand? Ghana today, unifying with its own sort of nationalist strength. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah. I feel in America, strange to say, especially in the South, that even with all the goodwill of white liberals in the country, that it's very important for the Negro people to know what they want and to unify to do it. Often in a very simple case of fighting segregation, one group of Negroes can be drawn aside because of political pressure, other pressures. We should unify too. We should unify.
Yes.
I feel there's got to be a unity in order to integrate. That's what I feel. I feel that we just can't integrate as individuals.
Yes. But isn't the example of Liberia, for example, a sorry example, as it's set against Ghana?
Well, yes, because that's a very simple. Firestone has taken care of that. It has been exploited to its hilt by Firestone Rubber, if you don't know the facts.
Yes, right. It still remains then an economic
and
question.
So has Ghana.
Rather than a racial unity question. It remains an economic question in its fundamentals rather than the unity of the Negro people.
Ghana has the unity of its own nation, same as Chinese or Indians, very close to India. India's they have a culture and a history that has its own national characteristics.
But what will prevent Ghana from becoming another Liberia?
That's the...
What do you mean?
Well,
Liberia today is completely controlled by Firestone, not by Africans. But I feel that Nkrumah is going to control the economy of Ghana, and at some time be strong enough to say to the European, either you sit here and acknowledge that we run our own country like Nehru, or else you go. But I don't see the day when Liberia can tell Firestone to do that. Different, they're quite different. Liberia is a complete vassal state of American capital, finance capital, without question. They have nothing to say, nothing whatsoever.
What is your reaction to the passive resistance as practiced in Montgomery?
I think there was a magnificent movement, and there's nothing as far as the general thing of a nonviolent solution of the problem. There could be no other solution within within the frame of things today. I mean, this is a very important contribution. Nobody could think of a violent solution unless somebody wanted to ask somebody to be destroyed. I mean, that would be absurd. On the other hand, within that framework,
all my patients are worried about their immunity right now. So please listen.
I think that the Negro people have to be extremely militant and demand a little more than they are demanding today, and to do a little more, not to do something, to do other things as well as pray, let me put it, as well as pray.
Do you think there's been a change in the attitude of the Negro churches toward militant political and economic action, Mr. Rhodes?
I think there has, because it's history, Take Frederick Douglass. I belong to the AME Zion Church. There's one in this area. And Douglass was a part of that church. Harriet Tubman, who formed the Underground Railroad, who was called the Moses of our people. They sang Go Down Moses when she came into the South to free the slaves. And Harriet Tubman. And we have a tradition of tremendous, consistent speaking out, for our rights. like in the whole civil rights struggle. I mean by militant, letting people know that you want to be free like anybody else. And I think the churches, however, a lot of the responsibility still rests upon our churches, because that's where so many of our people, go. They have tremendous influence still.
Mr. Robeson, do you think your artistry as a singer and actor have suffered because of your involvement in political action, or profited?
They have not. I feel that they have profited. They've only suffered when they've suffered by the fact that because of my political views, which I certainly did not expect in a democracy, that I've been prevented from exercising my craft. However, I've kept singing all through the years. You may be able to test it pretty soon. I just made a recording the other day for Vanguard, which they felt was superior to any records I have ever made. My voice is still in fine shape. I've been in the area. And as far as Othello, I've worked on it. I feel I've just been invited to play at Stratford-on-Avon, the Shakespeare Memorial Theatre in England, strange to say, in Pericles, to play the part of Gower. And I would certainly do Othello at some point in London, and I feel I would give a better performance. I feel that I've got a lot of things here which we won't be able to get to in my music. Comparing the folk music of the world, I would say that my interest in my art has deepened just no end in the last years. And I've become interested in the music of Bartok, of Mussorgsky, many folk things, the unity of the folk music of the world, which has sprung from my political conviction that all people should be unified. I have seen it expressed in their music, and I do a program which of all the songs of all the peoples in the world, suggesting that we are all one human family. It always comes to that. So I feel that basically that it has deepened my. On the other hand, I have never separated my work as an artist from my work as a human being. I've always put it even more strongly that to me, my art is always a weapon. It's got to be good art. Othello was a weapon in racial relations, or at least showing that we can do some things too. I played football. My father explained to me that, well, if a fella hit me, I couldn't hit him back because they'd say we were bad and savage. So I had to stand and be knocked all around. I had to do well in my studies. So I've never been able to divorce one thing from the other. And luckily, I don't sing the kind of songs that you're here and you hit the high, whatever it is, the high B flat and the high this and the high that. I sing songs that express very much the emotions of different peoples, like the Welsh, the Scotch, the Negro, Chinese, Russian, and so forth.
Well, what is the present state of play on this passport business? You were talking about your British invitations.
Yes.
How are you going to get there?
Well, luckily, I think at this point, the basic case is before the Supreme Court. It's the case of Rockwell Kent, contending that all the cases revolve around that when the State Department put in its administrative necessities that one sign a non-communist affidavit, whether or not he was, or so forth, that this is a violation of constitutional rights. It wasn't just any American now has to sign this particular proposal. And this is before the Supreme Court. And in its present temper, it seems to me that the court might easily decide.
And this is what you refuse to do. You refuse to sign such a document.
Oh, I completely refuse. This is a complete invention. Did you murder your wife yesterday, or the day before? Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? This is my political opinions are my own business. This is a complete. And I say we have the background of the reversal in the Smith Act cases all over this country. So somebody was framed, I would say. So it shows that all of it, to my mind, is a complete hoax from somewhere.
In other words, you're hoping that on the basis of some of the current court decisions that you may get your passport in time to go
yes,
to
or I have now been invited to sing on April 6th in a national television broadcast. Maybe I could get special permission to go. I mean, and because of my background in England, there is almost a national demand from England or request that I be allowed to come in April and even before the summer. And also I take some optimistic point of view from the fact that where no passports are needed, after restricting me for many years, even in that area, this had to be lifted because the courts would certainly, I think, have ruled that this was completely illegal. Once I was stopped from going to Hawaii, Puerto Rico, which are parts of the United States. So I can now go anywhere in this hemisphere.
Oh, You're not
means-
dangerous as long as you stick to the Western Hemisphere.
I'm just saying. So I'm just saying, if a court is looking at this, how can the State Department argue that if I leave the country, this is extremely dangerous? The guy, he got up in court, the fellow, and if I left, it was going to be a catastrophe. I don't know what would happen the next morning. Immediately I got on the plane. But I can now be in Brazil. I can be in the West Indies. I can be in Canada. I can be anywhere in this hemisphere. Why can't I be in London? Doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm optimistic that I may get my passport.
Mr. Rosen, if we may change
Yes, I'd like to
direction,
get to my concert.
could I, however, ask you some questions along another line for a moment? I have 3 small children of my own, and I'm very much interested in the problems of children with relation to these larger problems of a man standing up for certain things. Have your children moved around the world with you in the course of...
All right, Omaha. That was Paul Robeson. That was an interview from 1958 talking about the struggle of Black history. This is Black History Month. We got our guests in the house, and we're gonna be talking about, since this Winning Women Wednesday, we have a woman that we want to highlight. We want to highlight her. We want to show some love, without a doubt. And she came up, and so we're gonna be talking to her as well as her superior. Oh yeah, I think that's what they call them. I think that's what they call them, or bosses. And so we're going to sit down and talk with them. Let me play this song real quick, and we're going to be right back with you. This song is called VIP. If you listen to 95.7 The Boss, you are VIP. Yes. You are a very important person. So head up, shoulders back, baby. If ain't nobody told you, we telling you right now. Boss with us this morning.
Track lab. Theater down on the theater down on the theater down on the theater
I show no ID, you know why? Cause I'm VIP. I got a pocket full of green, and you know what this means? That means that I'm VIP. They show nothing but love when I'm up in the club. Why? Cause I'm VIP. You wanna hang with me? You wanna hang with me? Why? Cause I'm VIP. I'm VIP. Hey, when I step in the club, they already know who's the best. East and the West, all the rest of the clubs. When I come through, they show love and throw it up. I'm in the back with a bottle full of yak and a house full of piss. I got that sex in the club. Pocket full of green, and I'm fresh and so clean. I'm so fresh as no plan, I'm fresh in the club. Yep. Hey, I'm a party on. Yeah, I'm a party on. Mommy got Bacardi lines, that is party time. Damn, that Bacardi gone. Ain't killing my vibe, ain't killing my high. Yeah, I'm in my party zone. I got my drink and my two-step, I'm a party to the party gone. Until it's over. You know, I show no ID. You know why? Cause I'm VIP. I got a pocket full of green, and you know what this means? That means that I'm VIP. They show nothing but love when I'm up in the club. Why? Cause I'm VIP. You wanna hang with me? You wanna hang with me? Why? Cause I'm VIP. I'm VIP.
Hey, I'm on cloud 9, up in the club, but I'm feeling fine. Never a nickel, baby, always a dime. And like 5 wine, I get better with time. Dance floor, feeling fancy free. I represent my team, the 313. Yeah, we VIP. Dressed to impress, as you can clearly see. But this is crazy though. Yeah, this is crazy though. I'm the chick in the clique. Yeah, with that crazy flow. You need to stop all the hating. Yeah, you can save it, yo. You wanna roll with me? Meet me at VIP. Yeah, and that's Lady Roll. That's me. Yeah.
I show no ID. You know why? Cause I'm VIP. I got a pocket full of green, and you know what this means? That means that I'm VIP. They show nothing but love when I'm up in the club. Why? Cause I'm VIP. You wanna hang with me? You wanna hang with me? Why? Cause I'm VIP. I'm VIP.
VIP, wide body, and your boy Reed came in on 10, and it's all on me. I could've did the long sleeve or the 2C. At the bar, buy it out like it's all on me. VIP, walk in, feeling all tipsy. It ain't a problem for the night because my dog with me. 10 on me right now, counting all 50. 745, back to back with the 550. I'm playing rounds in the parking lot on Forgiatos. Thing on my wrist like a gold bottle. I walked in the club looking like I hit the lotto. Low key, mixed breeze, sipping on Moscato. I make it rain, make it flood, make the weather change. Turn the whole club up like like a hurricane. VIP spend it all, buying everything, running through a whole 12 like a shoestring.
Oh yeah.
So no ID, you know why? Cause I'm VIP.
Yeah, you VIP, baby.
Full agreement, you know what this means? That means that I'm VIP. They show nothing but love when I'm up in the club. Why? Cause I'm VIP. You wanna hang with me? You wanna hang with me? Why? Cause I'm VIP. I'm VIP.
Oh yeah, Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. If you are a boss listener, oh yeah, of course you are VIP, baby. You are a very important person. Without a doubt, head up, shoulders back. Oh yeah. You listen to 95.7 The Boss. Today is Winning Women Wednesday. Oh yeah, we want you to be purposeful today on acknowledging the women in your lives. I don't care from your daughter to your great. It don't make no difference. Your aunt, your mama, your grandmama. Well, you know, they birthed everybody, y'all. So we purposeful today. Today is Winning Women Wednesday. We want you again to acknowledge the women in your life. You know, they do everything, man. You know, the unsung heroes, without a doubt. And you know, we got to recognize that abuse is growing in our community, you know, because of the quarantine. And so we got to show a little bit more love, a little bit more patience. And here at 95.7 The Boss, we are a research radio station. Oh yeah, we modify our behavior over here. You know, if my mama was still alive, she'd be modifying my behavior. And so since she's gone, oh yeah, I'm gonna modify y'all behavior. You know what I mean? Is this my phone? Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm gonna modify y'all behavior. You know what I mean? So again, we acknowledge women on Wednesday, and the reason why is because they do a lot and they go through a lot, and sometimes they don't even tell their loved ones what they go through because they don't want the loved ones to get all upset. What happened? What happened? You know how men get, boy, with their women, boy, they ain't having it. So we just want you guys just to acknowledge what they go through, what they do every day, you know, so we can show a little bit of love. You know what I mean? So again, it is 8:17. It's warmer today, y'all. It's warm. Oh yeah, 10 degrees. It is warm. You know what I mean? Still gotta have long johns on. Still gotta have the long johns on. So if your young people are going to school, make sure they bundle up. Shouts out to all the bus drivers, the people that transport our precious cargo.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I used to catch the bus, and I depended on my bus driver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, to get us there safely. I used to take chips and stuff back there and talk to the girls. Oh yeah, shouts out to the bus drivers.
Most definitely.
Without a doubt, Uber and Jitney drivers. I can't forget the Jitney. But y'all, today we have two guests in the house. You know how these superstars are. You know how these stars are. They actually got stars. They actually got stars on all on their chest. I told you they real stars. They got their own nouns, adjectives, verbs, prepositional phrases, pronouns, all yeah, and predicates to introduce themselves. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves because they have a great opportunity. You know, I'm a former probation officer. And so growing up in the projects, you know, safety was, you know, neighbors actually kept, you know, we actually looked out for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Even my mama, when we moved to the house, she'd be looking out the window, you know, what's going on, you know, that neighborhood watch, you know, I mean, you got to have the old person make sure everything going right on the block, you know what I mean?
You're absolutely
And
right.
so, you know how these stars are. And so I want them to introduce themselves, because they have a great opportunity, and then we want to highlight one of their deputies. Oh yeah, you know, deputy sheriff, you know, DS, you know, deputy sheriff, and she looked like me. She's prettier though. She's prettier than me. She just same skin color, but she's prettier than me though. All right, but we want to just acknowledge some of the highlight some of the women that's career oriented, but also can be an example to other young Black young ladies that's inspiring to be who they want to be. And so I'm going to let them take the mic. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to get right into the dialogue. So how y'all doing it this morning? Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? No, men first, ladies last. I don't care if it's Winning Wednesday.
Yeah, you can pay for that one.
I don't care if it's Winning Wednesday.
All right. Good morning, Douglas County community. My name is Wayne Hudson. I'm the Chief Deputy for the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, Born and raised North Omaha. Graduated from Northwest High School. Go Huskies.
Heck yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. And who are you, mademoiselle?
I am Tashanta Tiller. I am a deputy at Douglas County Sheriff's Office, born and raised in Omaha. I have to disagree with the Huskies, although my son is a Husky.
Okay.
I won't go too far, but yeah, born and raised in Omaha, graduated from Bryan Senior.
Okay. Now say your first name again.
Tashanta.
Tashanta. That's a very unique name. Boy, I told Black mothers and fathers.
My father raised me, so you have to blame my dad for that one.
Daddy.
Yeah, he named me that.
Daddy.
We'll put some spin on some
Yeah.
names, boy.
Thank you, boy.
He definitely did.
Well, Miss Tiller, you are a Brian Bear.
I am.
I'm a Brian Bear. Shouts out. Oh yeah, we run things.
Yeah, Brian.
We run things. Yeah, you know, Bears. We in positions everywhere. You know, we like Huskies. No, we pat Huskies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're cute.
They're cute. You know, they just chill with us. They chill with us up in the North Pole. You know what I mean? So we can't be mad at the Huskies. So Miss Tiller, you're from this area. So what actually got you to tell us your journey to now?
Well, like I said, I graduated from Bryan. When I first considered law enforcement, my father was killed when I was 15 in Michigan. And I didn't really know a lot about, investigations and, looking into murders and all of that until I got older. And I thought about law enforcement, and then I got out of high school and, went a completely different path. Not a bad path, but not the law enforcement route.
Now, but now you say your dad raised you, correct?
My grandmother raised me, but
Okay.
my father named me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out to grandma. See, Wednesday.
Yeah. But he was murdered when I was 15. And then I was a pharmacy technician for 12 years. I had a really good friend of mine go through the police academy with OPD. Shout out OPD. And for me, it was the lack of minority females in the graduating class.
I mean, but so you had a friend of yours. Was she black or white?
It was a black male.
Black male.
Yes.
And
he graduated, and we were sitting at the graduation, and I'm just like, I don't see, people that look like me.
Right.
And so my question was to one of our friends, like, where's the black women at? Because I want to say there may have been 4 or 5.
Okay.
And it was a pretty big class. And so we had a conversation about it. He was like, well, why don't you do it? I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'm comfortable. I've been in my job 12 years. I'm good. But my kids were older. And then I started thinking like, well, maybe I should.
So you see, for y'all don't know about Brian Bears.
We go for it.
Oh yeah, without that, we about it.
We go for it.
Without that, Terrence Crawford from Brian Bear. Oh yeah, we champions, baby. Pound for pounds come from our town, without doubt. So you accepted that challenge.
I did.
Okay.
I did, and so I tested. Well, the only agency I put down was Douglas County.
There we go.
So you feel confident.
So
You
test.
That's the bear heart.
You test, and there's 5 agencies you can apply to, and so Douglas County was the only one I selected. So I went through the agility test and the written test, and actually got my results back faster than they told me.
Okay.
And I was like, well, wait, like this is happening.
So your intelligent game is there.
Of course.
Your athletic game is there too. Okay, good. So you excel. So when you got the word, what was that day like?
It was kind of unreal. Like I didn't really grasp the fact that that's what I was doing until I left for the academy. Like I had interviewed, I had been polygraphed, I had, done the evaluations and everything, and it wasn't real to me until I had to leave my house and, drive to Grand Island for 16 weeks.
Now, what was your preparation for just even going through? Because I went through the firefighter test, the physical part as well as the written part. Now, the physical part, how did you prepare for for that, especially being a woman, and most women perceive that they can't do what men can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not the most athletic person, nor was I then. But it's all about, making a decision, because if this is something I want to do and I have to go through this process to get there, then I have to do whatever it takes to get there.
Mhm.
So if it takes me running on a treadmill for an hour and a half, then that's what I have to do. If it takes me changing my diet to, lose some weight, then that's what I have to do.
Mhm.
So you have to, once you have that plan or you have that dream or goal, like you have to do whatever it takes to finally reach it.
Okay. All right. So you like a young lady. You look young to me. You look young. Don't she look young, sure?
Very much
Okay. So now being young, do you feel you have responsibility to the other women, because you graduated? There could have been another Black girl,
right,
saying the same thing that you said,
right,
when you graduated.
Right.
So do you have a certain responsibility in your role besides just going to your job, or you just not a regular deputy sheriff? You're just not the regular deputy sheriff, are you?
So, well, the first in
over 30 years.
Yeah.
So you're not the regular deputy. So you actually have
The first African American.
Yeah. So everybody looking at you. They're looking at
everybody.
you.
Everybody
looking at you.
Everybody.
So you like the Jackie Robinson, the you're in that era. You know what I mean? Because if when you achieve when he retired and you take all those stripes and all those decorations, and you excel to that level, and then you can say, I just started out with that little girl. I said, I just asked a question.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious.
So are you going to be so obviously you're not a regular deputy sheriff.
No.
You are, everyone's watching you. You're special. So since you got all the eyes looking at you, did that add a little bit more pressure, or are you fulfilling God's manifestation?
Well, I would have to say, God has a plan, and He knew my life before I was created. So He knew I would take this path. He knew I would start out, in a completely different field. And He definitely paved the way for me. I feel that I have a 14-year-old daughter, and if she said, "Okay, Mom, I'm interested. What do I need to do?" Of course, I'm going to do everything I can to get her where she needs to be. It is different because I do have people looking at me, but I also feel like it's a way to stand on that platform and say, I did it at 34 years old, you know?
Right.
Shoot. Not literally, but go for it. Like it's amazing.
Without a doubt. Now, how long you been on the do y'all call it a force? Okay.
3 years in December. This
3
past
years?
December.
Okay, so you just had an anniversary. Okay, congratulations on your anniversary. All right, shout out. So it's 3 means few, y'all.
Yeah.
3 means few. Now I got to use my education. They got all these stars up here, and so what's your 34? So you're a young person. So I mean,
37 now.
37. Okay, 37. Okay, you still look 30, 34. Okay, take that 30. Take that 3 years. Take that 3 years. Because I wish I could have my 3 years back. Can I have 30 years back? Lord, can I have 30 years back, Lord? Then I'll be 25, no job. But yeah, Miss Tilly, so you have a daughter.
I do.
And what do your daughter think? Is she worried about you?
Well, I have 2 children.
Okay, 2 children. What?
My son is 16.
Okay.
My daughter's 14.
Okay. So your mother?
I'm a mother.
Okay. And special deputy sheriff.
Deputy sheriff.
And man, so you got a lot of tasks. So how do you juggle all that? Especially during this pandemic, your mother, schooling at home. That's why we call this Winning Women Wednesday.
It's difficult, especially with the pandemic, like you said, because I chose to take my children out of school full time and do full remote. Because I wasn't comfortable. There were too many, I was getting too many emails and too many positive tests going on. And I'm like, I didn't want it to come into my household.
Right.
I'm already, around a ton of people a day. I didn't want my kids to have to go through that. So
Right.
It's a challenge, but you know, my faith is higher than me. You know,
Right.
I don't do any of this alone. So, you know, my kids were nervous at first because like, okay, my mom's a cop. You know, they always say my mom's a cop, but they supported me.
Right.
So, you know, now it's my mom's the sheriff, you know.
Oh, they get it.
My mom, you know, now they're proud.
Big
So,
time,
you
big
know,
time
as
now.
long as I could get to that point, you know, I'm okay with everything that comes with it.
Without a doubt. And the reason why I brought that up because with this current climate, with police relations and all that stuff, as a society, we got to look at everyone as people first before they put on a uniform or a suit.
Right.
Because if they got children, they just mama or
Right.
daddy.
Right.
And so we got to realize that just remember everyone have a job in order to support their families. And so police officers aren't adversarial. I mean, we got in every job, you always have a 1% of in every society, there's mischievous people, period. In every subculture, there's mischievous people. And sometimes the mischievous people get certain jobs. They could be daycare workers and hurting little kids.
Right.
So we really gotta look at people as people before they're Mr. or Mrs. or have a PhD or a doctor or whatever before they name. And so thank you for sharing that. She is a mother. So if y'all see her out there, boy, you don't want mama to pull up on you. You know, well, you don't want mama to pull up. Hey, and y'all know how mama to pull up on you. So let's be wise with those that have uniforms because we're all humans first. We're all I'm Papa now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm Papa. I got a new name.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So sure, I cherish that. My grandson come over. He said, Papa, he had expectations. You know what I mean? And so family is very important. So as we move day to day, let's remember that officers are just people also. Now, are you guys hiring? I mean, are you guys got money? Are you bringing money? What else? I mean, what y'all? Yeah,
we are hiring, but I'm gonna go back one step because Deputy Till is very modest. Okay.
Okay.
Our testing process is very rigorous.
Okay.
And we struggle to hire minorities. Okay, because the way the law is set up to hire deputy sheriffs. So to get a position in our department, you have to score exceptionally well on the test. Okay, to even get an interview. So out of 100 and maybe 50 something people, to only have maybe 2 or 3 African-American females take the test, and for her to excel to get to a certain point where she can get an interview and they get a position, I mean, it's outstanding that she did so well. So yeah, this is a winning Wednesday woman right here. Very well.
Without doubt. And I don't know if you went to school was Dexter Brown. When did you graduate from Bryan?
2001.
Okay, yeah, you real young. You real young. Hey, 2000. I graduated in 1983.
I was born in 83.
You were born in 83? Dang it. Dang it, she was born in 1983 when I graduated, y'all. All right.
But back to your question, yes, we are hiring.
Okay.
We just went through a hiring process. We're going to be the process is closed right now, and we're going to be testing next week. That I know of, we probably have, I believe, 3 African-American females that I reached out to. They'll be taking the test, and at least a handful of African-American males.
Great.
Which is good because we got to have that pool so we can get them up high enough to even get a consideration for selection.
Right. And then we discussed the hiring process.
Yes.
Your hiring process is different from OPS. I mean, not OPS. OPD.
Correct.
Explain that because again, I told you she is a special deputy sheriff Tiller. Call her special. Don't just call her deputy.
Yes, our hiring process is different. The Douglas County Sheriff Department and other sheriffs across the state of Nebraska, we are regulated by state statute. And in part, the state statute says this: For every one position, the sheriff can only consider the top 3 on an eligibility list. So once we do all of our testing process, the list is put together by score. Okay. So the way I tell people is this: we had a police chief here, Tom Warren, excellent guy, very knowledgeable. If Tom Warren took our test and he scored number 4 on the test, and there was 3 people ahead of him, and the sheriff had no reason to skip those 3, Tom Warren would not get the position.
Okay.
That's the way the law is set up. And the law was set up that way because years ago, when the new sheriff would take over, the person would come in, fire everybody, and bring in his own personnel. So that stopped them from doing that. It hurts us some when we try to diversify the department. So I'm hoping next year we can go to the legislature and put a tweak in that law just so that we can help diversify the agency. Now, the Omaha Police Department, they're a little different because the chief there can select anyone that he wants on his list, on his eligibility list.
Okay. So you scored in the top 3 then. What did you score? So you number 1? You scored number 1? Are you the valedictorian?
I was number 2.
I think you're number 2.
Number 2.
Okay. You know, number 2. You know, hey, place. You know, hey, place. We were the XR. That's that. Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations. I placed 2nd in the nation. I feel real good. Oh, you took me a flashback. I had a flashback real quick. Took me back to Arkansas. I won nationals. I placed 2nd in the nation. So that's incredible. So you are very smart. You're very smart. That's good. I like to be around smart people. So, you guys, do we want to give some money away today?
We do. You know what? Since it's Winning Women's Wednesday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Trivia question.
We got some money to give away.
I have 3 questions. I'm gonna give one now. If you get the answer, I have a $20 bill for you.
$20.
All right. The first person to respond to this question,
give us a call. I'm gonna give you the number 402-763-6781. If you want to win $20,000. No, excuse me, $20. My bad.
$20. The first question is this: the Nebraska State Correctional System, Correctional System, they have an African American female warden. What is her name?
Man.
The Nebraska Correctional System, they have an African American female warden. What is her name?
All right. Okay. Okay. That's $20. He got the money right here. The money, cash right here. We see cash money. We can't give away cash money. See, if you're listening to the boss, y'all, you never know what you're gonna get. What you're gonna get. Cash money. That's gas money because you gotta let your car warm up.
There you go.
Gotta let your car warm up. Okay, that's a great question. So we have a black female warden in the state of Nebraska. Who is she? So if I narrow it down, I know she's not at the male prison because they be talking about the Franks guy. I think he's over there. I don't know. Google, help me. We do have a question from Miss Nicole. She wants to know what's the phone number again?
Your number.
402. That was my question. I'm asking you the question. She asked me the question. 402-763-6781. 402-763-6781. That's our studio number. Give us a call. We'll answer it. Ricky Smith said, "What's up, deputy?"
Hello, Ricky.
Ricky, she's special. Deputy.
Hi, Ricky.
Come on, Ricky. She's special deputy. Okay, brother Boris. What's up, brother Boris? Come on, can I get some picture, Boris? I'm trying to look good. Now, he asks, how do you prepare for the test? How did you prepare for the test? Because there's a written test. So how did you prepare for the written?
So there's 2 written tests, and there is a practice book that I studied. So yeah.
Yeah, when you sign up for the test, there's a practice book that you can buy. Buy that practice book, go through it, but you must also do some other things because you got to get yourself known. Whatever agency you're applying for, see if they have a ride-along program. Do a ride-along. See if you can contact somebody in the agency. like the Omaha Police Department, they have the Black Police Officers Association.
Uh-huh.
Use them to go through their test prep and their interview prep. They do an excellent job of getting you prepared for the interview.
Hello. Okay, hold on a second. We put you on, mademoiselle. So,
June.
So how you doing? Oh, so who am I speaking to?
This is June Martinez.
How you doing, Miss Martinez?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell your husband that we're not playing basketball this season. I was crying yesterday. I was crying. So are you calling to win the 20?
Have to bring some Ben Gay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you don't have to bring no Ben Gay this season. Yeah, no Ben Gay this season. No, we're taking a break. You trying to win this money?
I am.
Okay.
I don't know her first name, but I think it's Woodard.
Woodard?
No,
it's not Woodard.
No.
Okay.
All right, Miss Jones.
Okay, count me out.
Okay. All right, no problem. Now your daughter's doing some big things, so shouts out to you and your. Does she got a big event coming up this weekend or next weekend?
Yeah, next weekend she'll be playing for Bellevue University. So we're super excited for the team is doing amazing.
So
it's fun to watch them. So come out if you want.
And she's writing for the World Herald too, isn't that correct?
She is. She is. She has another article coming out for Black History Month, so look forward to that. And she also has a big meeting with Don Bacon and them. So I know she was going to call you, so look forward to that call from her.
Yeah, but since it's Winning Winman Wednesday, and she's like in her 20s, so we got the 30-year-old, so we could bring the 20-year-old in.
Absolutely.
All
she
right.
would be happy to.
Okay, yeah. Let her know and tell her I do have a basketball, and don't come up here these stairs cocky, because I will take her to the cup. For real.
Oh my goodness, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, for real. I don't care how young she is.
It's on.
All right, it's on.
I'm gonna be cheering for both of you.
Okay, let her know. Let her know. She's welcome to come in.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Again, if we have a trivial question. If you know the Black female warden, the only warden in Nebraska, and obviously there's a couple female prisons, and so I'm trying to give you guys some hints. So what else is going on? What else is going on with you guys?
Well, as you know, I'm transitioning to my new position.
Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, so basically we got special, it's just all special stuff going on around here. And they're giving out $20 because they're so special. So now you are the chief deputy, right?
Correct.
Special chief deputy. Someone's called me on my cell phone. Let me see what they want. Hold on a second. Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah.
Take it over.
So, second command of my agency right now. So I'm responsible for the day-to-day operations of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. I took over for Chief Deputy Wheeler, who was appointed as the interim sheriff, who will fill out Sheriff Dunning's term for the next 2 years. So we're excited about what we want to do with the department, where we're going to go. We have some new command officers that we just promoted here recently. So getting some new blood into some positions, some new ideas. One of the initiatives I challenged all my captains is that you look at the protest that we had here recently. The community is asking us to be accountable. The community wants us to be engaged. So I challenge all my captains. I want them to do community projects, community service, them and their bureau. And I want it done here in this community, not in some other community in Iowa or some other county, in this community that pays you your paycheck, in the community that we are trying to recruit from. They need to see us out there. For a long time, we concentrate on Western Douglas County, but we recruit from throughout this entire community. So that's what I want to see, and that's one of the initiatives we will be putting forward.
Okay. Now, so you're the first Black male or first Black at this position in the state of Nebraska, right?
That I know of, yes.
Okay, all right. So the state's been around since I forget when it came in existence. So in 200 years, you are special. You guys are special breed. All right. Cool.
But you know what though, the issue I got is this: it's 2021, and we're still having these firsts. Okay, we have to get these younger people more interested in law enforcement.
Right.
I was telling somebody recently here. I talked to a group of 40 African Americans and 40 Hispanics, and I challenged them both and asked them, "Who here wants to go into law enforcement?" Out of 80-something kids, maybe 5 raised their hand. So that's telling me we're not reaching them. We're not showing them this is a good career field. And what I told them is, if you guys don't go into law enforcement, who's going to police your communities?
Right.
Without a doubt. Again, that makes being a former probation officer, and we always talk about how police treat us. The only way to change that is that you got to join.
Right.
You got to join those institutions, and then with your experience and your fabulous personality, you can change things. You can change things because people will see you as a person versus as someone over there. Once a person gets to know a person, it's really hard to. I mean, of course, you can be negative to a person, but that takes a lot of energy to hold someone back. And so when you're doing what God wants you to do, you always will prevail. Always. There's nothing can stop you. Period. Nothing. And so I just want to encourage us as a community, because we got to stop telling our young men to not protect us by not being police officers.
Right.
So what kind of message is that when the man is supposed to protect, as well as the woman is supposed to protect their children? And so when we send those messages that we shouldn't be police officers, et cetera, that's a bad message to send to our young people. And it's hypocritical because who do y'all call in an emergency? Hypocrites. See, I can talk like that, sure. So our people, so let's stop being hypocritical and say that we hate the police, but as soon as something happens, who we call, and what kind of expectations do we have when we make that call when they don't show up or at an adequate time? So we gotta stop being hypocritical. Let's as my mama, she couldn't read or write, but she had major common sense. And to me, the common sense is that we all in this together. All right.
And I want to say something, and that is so important. What people need to understand is the protection of our community is everybody's responsibility. Everybody's responsibility. We just get paid full time to do it.
Right.
But everybody's responsible for our community. We all should be protecting our community, calling in when they see things, holding people accountable. Like you said, back in the day, our elders was the one. They didn't care who you were. If you were on that street, on that block, you were messing up, your elders held you accountable. We don't have that anymore. But that's what we need to get back to. We all are responsible for our community.
Without a doubt. That's why I talk about the ethics of Hilltop Projects, the place that you're perceived as less than. Those are the ethics that we live by on a daily basis. We fed each other, but also we gave tough love when it was necessary to give tough love.
So did we not get an answer to that question?
They call, that number again is 402-763-6781. A lady called, she called my cell number, but I'm gonna call her back and say, why you ain't call?
Well, you know what? I have another one too then.
Okay.
So they can answer this one as well. Again, Winning Women Wednesday. And I'm going to stay in the criminal justice field. Well, we might have one here.
Okay, let's see. Hello, this is William. Hello. Yeah. Did you call in? Are you trying to win the money? You know the answer?
Yeah, Loretta Wells.
Loretta Wells? All right.
Congratulations.
Okay, now who am I speaking to?
Carl Christian.
Carl Christian? The real estate man? The mogul?
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man, we got all the top people calling in, all the special people. Brother Carl, when do you want to come pick up this $20? He got the Harriet Tubman $20. When you want to come by and get this Harriet Tubman $20 bill?
Just donate it to the 100 Black Men.
All right.
Okay, that's all right.
All
Will
right.
do.
See how special you are, brother Carl. So when are you gonna come in and give us some knowledge on real estate?
We'll talk.
Okay, okay, brother. Okay, Omaha, Nebraska, brother Carl. We appreciate you checking out the station, and also we appreciate you donating to a wonderful organization. It's 100 Black Men. You there, brother Carl?
I guess I had the radio on at the same time. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Oh, you get the radio on. Okay, I know I was hearing some double talking back there. I'm hearing myself talk, brother Carl. Did you turn your radio off, brother Carl?
I just did.
Okay, now you can hear me better right now, can you, brother Carl?
Yes, I can.
All right, brother Carl. All right. Brother Carl, how old are you, brother Carl?
I'm 72 years old.
How old are you, brother Carl?
72.
Man, that's a good age, brother Carl. That's a good age. I'm only 55, and you look good at 72, brother Carl. How you look so good at 72?
The Lord.
The Lord?
Yeah,
Oh, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Okay, well, I'm going to follow that same path, brother Carl. I'm going to follow the Lord, too. Let the people know. Let the people know how they can get in contact with your business, because you actually are provide shelter for people, and that's one of the great necessities of man and woman. So how can people get in contact with you?
Well, you can go on the MC Dodge website and just type in my name, Carl Christian, and all my information will be there.
All right, man, Carl, man, even your last name it's all spiritual. It's so spiritual.
I love it. Yeah,
brother Carl, we appreciate you, and keep praying for us, brother Carl.
All right.
Bye-bye.
God bless you.
All right.
Yeah, Loretta Wells.
Yeah, Loretta Wells. Okay, all right. Now, what institution is she at?
She's at the, I believe, the youth center, the downtown center.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I never
met her on a call with NOBLE, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives.
Uh-huh.
We had a conference call, and she was on there. So very sharp individual.
Okay. Hello. Who am I speaking to?
Paul Fileman.
This is Phil.
Paul Fileman.
What's up,
you
Paul?
Call me Phil, but that's okay.
Well,
Phil, Paul, just don't call me late for dinner, okay?
Hey, what's going on, Paul? And for you guys don't know, Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs, Paul Philman, he's been very proactive on prison reform, and he wants to make the conditions better in the prison. And this is a white guy. Oh yeah, he's handsome like me. You know, he's handsome.
Not
like
as
me.
handsome.
Yeah, I know. It's hard being handsome and working all this stuff, man. It's hard. It's tough. I can tell you, women take all the bathroom time, Paul. They take all the bathroom time. We get very little bathroom time. So what's going on, Paul?
I wanted to talk to Wayne. I gotta bug Wayne. I need your help, Wayne. We talked about that program in Eugene, Oregon, that has been running for years now, and it has an EMT and a mental health emergency person going in vans around the city answering non-emergency type calls for the Eugene Police Department. Yes. And they have saved tons of money, and they've saved lives by preventing officers from having to be involved in mental health situations. And it's also been running now in Denver for 6 months, and they've got vans going out just during the day. And there was a big article in a publication here recently about how many police calls were avoided by using these services. And I can't get any traction. The police department they're sticking with this whole co-responder thing, which is good to a point, but it's really missing the bulk of the work that could be done by the community agencies that could combine resources to go out on calls and collaborate with the police department, but the police don't have to go out on the calls. But I need some help, Wayne, because Marianne Borgeson's been trying to get some traction on it. She had that meeting with the head of the police from Eugene, and it didn't go anywhere that I know of. So help me out. Is there any way you can help push this thing a little bit?
Probably so. And I know exactly what you're talking about. I know that came up here recently. And from a law enforcement standpoint, if we can have an organization, the community should have a group or an organization that they can call if they need mental health services. and that group can respond to the home so long as there isn't any type of violence going on in the home. Otherwise, law enforcement have to respond to secure things and then turn it over to the mental health professionals. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I have also seen the research on it. I think it's a good concept. I don't understand why it's not getting traction here. Give me a call in my office, 444-6632, 444-6632, and let's talk about it further. Maybe me, you, and Commissioner Borg can sit down and discuss it further.
Yeah, there's a guy that I know. His name is John Harris. He's a friend of mine. He is a co-responder for the Omaha Police Department. And Wayne, you should hear the stories he tells, because he's got 25 years of experience dealing with substance abuse, mental illness, and he tells these stories about going out on calls, and the police officers are just beside themselves. They have no clue what they're dealing with when they go into some of these situations, and they just pitch the ball to him and let him handle it. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of those kinds of calls where the police have no business being there. They don't have the experience. It's like sending a plumber to an electrical problem. And they get there and they look at the wiring and go, well, what am I going to do with my plumber's wrench? And it's like, well, I don't know. What are you going to do with it? So, yeah, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, because, again, I think those calls should be diverted to an organization. So our 911 system for law enforcement, we don't handle those. That should go into a specific organization. They respond to the call. Now, once they get there, if they find out it's a little bit more than they can handle and the person needs to be detained, then call law enforcement. We can be dispatched. So, and you're right, we have CIT, which gives us some training, but not to a level of a therapist, not to a level where you can talk somebody down, calm them down, resources and the wraparound services that they really need.
Quick question. Speaking of prisons, I got to throw this out there. I listened to Terrell McKinney last night, and he was very frustrated with law enforcement. And he's been down doing committee hearings and listening to law enforcement come down and talk about bills that were proposed. This is what he said last night. He said, every time police officers all show up and they testify against all these police bills, but when there comes to other kind of legislation that would address poverty and the real source of crime and the kinds of things that are fueling the prison, he said he never sees the police officers at those hearings. Why don't involved in the other side of things too, the prevention on kinds of things that would really address the birth to prison pipeline? I mean, he said he never ever, and I agree, I'm sure police never show up for those things. They're told to go down and testify about anything specific to police. But when it comes to safe communities, poverty is the issue that's fueling the birth to prison pipeline. It's racism based historically in Omaha, but I'd love to see law enforcement go and testify in urban affairs or education department about things that really affect the birth to prison pipeline and would make the need for policing much less. What are your thoughts on that?
That's understandable. I understand what you're saying. I know when it comes to law enforcement, some of those law enforcement bills are really things that we really center on. But I understand what you're saying. And I truly agree that there's more to this criminal justice issue than just crime that's being committed. There is poverty issues, education issues, there is homelessness. There's an array of issues that that kind of builds up to the reason why we have some of the problems we have in our community.
Well, thanks, Wayne. I appreciate you coming in and working with people.
Yep, not a problem. Love to do it.
Hey, thanks, big bro. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks, William.
All right,
good.
bro. Peace.
So I'll give you my second question now, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Second question on our Winning Women's Wednesday. Omaha Police Department. Excellent department. They do a good job. For a while there, years ago, they had a lot of African Americans up in the ranks. Okay, they're trying to build that back again. They have the Black Police Officers Association with Ken Fox and Marcus Taylor that are doing some really good things. They have Lieutenant Cherie Thomas, who's in charge of Noble, doing some really good things. Years ago, they had a high-ranking African American female in the police department. And what was her rank?
Okay. Black female, What's the question again, Brother Hudson?
She was an African American female. She is the highest ranking African American female at that time, and still is, for the Omaha Police Department.
So she still works there.
She doesn't work there anymore. She retired,
Okay.
but no one has beat her rank so far or matched her rank so far.
Okay.
As far as African American female, what was her name and what was her rank?
Okay. When did she retire? Did she just retire recently?
No, she probably over 10 years ago.
Okay, that's recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. So anyone know that trivia? You can be a police officer. We don't have any limitation on this trivia contest. So if you have some inside scoop, if they're a family member, call with pride. Call with pride, without a doubt. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. It is 9 o'clock. We are talking to Special Deputy Tiller and Special Chief Deputy Hudson. They are representative for the Dulles County Sheriff Department. They are both African American representatives that happens to be sheriffs. They are looking for more African American minorities to with the sheriff office, not on the lockup side, nor on the recruiting side. And so if you have that aspiration like a Special Deputy Tiller, where she looked out into that graduating class and said that no one looked like me, and she accepted that challenge, we want you also to accept that challenge. We need people like us that look like us protecting us. I wouldn't got to this position without my daddy enlisting in the military. And sometimes you got to sacrifice for the whole. Miss Tiller, she's a young gentleman,
boy and a girl.
And so she's a mother, but also she's a special deputy sheriff. And so if you guys see her out there, treat her as you would treat any other woman that you love. And so we got to really get back to loving thy neighbor. I was with the preachers yesterday.
Okay.
I had all spiritually wrapped up, protected, all ministers. Now I got the law enforcement protection today.
Yeah.
And so
Like a full armor of God.
Yeah, full armor of God. Yeah, heck yeah, without a doubt. And so we really got to get back to the essence. This is not cartoons. This is real life. This is not a video game or a streaming service. This is reality. This is not artificial friends that are on your phone. This is real life. And so let's remember that by the things that we say. And we're here on purpose because we can't participate in the ignorance. I remember coming home every day and reading to my mama. I remember my freshman year and my grades wasn't too good. And I knew I couldn't go home and face my mama who couldn't read and write. And so we got to sacrifice, y'all. We got to do better because we only have one life to live. I got one son, so I tell him I need you to make great decisions because I only got one of you. Period. And we need to apply that pressure to our young people, let them know how important they are.
We got to raise our expectations of our young children. Somebody asked me, my middle daughter graduated from high school, and they said, "Aren't you happy? Aren't you glad?" I said, "Happy, glad at what?" It's expected for her to graduate from high school. The same way when she comes home from school, she turns that light switch on, she opens up that refrigerator, she expects the light to turn on, the food be in the refrigerator. That's the expectation she has of me. I expect her to graduate from high school. My standard is, I hope you graduate. No. Now, I'll be happy when she graduates from UNL. I'll be happy with that. But high school, no.
Yeah.
You're supposed to do that.
Right, without a doubt. And so you're a family man also. How many children you have?
I have 3. I have a 31-year-old who lives in England right now.
Okay.
I have a 19 and an 18.
Okay. So as you guys move day to day, even though they wear uniforms, they're family people. They have children. They have mothers. They have grandmothers. They got daughters. They got sons. And so let's remember that as we move day to day. We do things here on purpose. We are a research radio station. Our goal is to improve, to modify our behavior, ourselves, to improve our families, and ultimately to improve our communities. We love to brag off our neighbors. These are our neighbors. We try to do the opposite of what the world is doing, even though we know we're not perfect.
Right.
And so we love bragging off our neighbors. You know what I mean? They are special, and they do have a certain responsibility because Black eyes are looking at you. I'm gonna tell you this story before I leave on the importance of Black people, and since Black people are in leadership, especially since this is Black History Month. I had a interview with Lamont. I forget Lamont last name. He gonna kill me. He was just here. He had a conversation with his granddaughter, who is 10 now. So when she was 8, when Donald Trump got elected, she asked her grandpa, she said, Papa, she said, can white people be president? Because all her life, she just seen Obama as president. So it's important who they see so they can aspire to be. And so Omaha, Nebraska, when I heard that story, that little 8-year-old girl, and she's never seen a white man as president, and all she's seen is Black as president, her self-esteem was on a whole different level. Her race, the racism haven't got to her yet. Because she perceived that damn the Black man, we the president, we you know, so her perception of the Black man is totally different from other women, and she's only 8 years old. And so it's important that they still see you as great life, because people are looking at you. They're looking at you too. They're looking at y'all. And so just remember that story of that 8-year-old girl.
And I would agree. I'm part of the 100 Black Men as well as Brother Christensen there. And the model for them is what they'll see is what they'll be. That's why it's important for us to get more African Americans in this career field, and not only get them in the career field, but get them back active in the community. It's incumbent upon law enforcement to put us in those positive spaces where law enforcement and the community can have good conversations, open conversations, so we can talk about the past and so that we can move forward. And for our young people, they need to see us in these positions so that they know they can strive to also be a Deputy Tiller, a Chief Deputy Hudson, or Sheena Glover from the fire department, or Captain Farmer from the fire department, or a Judge Polk, all these different positions. Or we have a new probation officer, Chief Probation Officer. I mean,
that's Black?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Chief Damon Strong.
Okay, cool.
Chief Probation. I don't think we've ever had that before.
No, never had. I was a probation. I worked in Douglas County. So Deb Minardi was my Chief Probation Officer. Now she runs the whole. I think she's a state Chief Probation Officer now. Well, that's great. That's great.
I mean, we have African Americans in our criminal justice field that are doing great things. We've got judges, prosecutors, public defenders, law enforcement. Those are individuals that our young people need to see, so they know that they can be in those positions.
Without a doubt. We do have an answer to your trivia question. It comes from Facebook. Miss let me get it right. Okay. Miss Etna. It's a Statham. She said Brenda Smith.
Correct. What was her rank?
Her rank was, let me see, Deputy Chief. She like you. No, reverse. Chief Deputy. Chief Deputy
Is correct.
Chief. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, that is correct.
So hold on a second. So I think they gotta share that. There's an answer. Okay. Miss Nicole said Deputy Chief. So
yes.
So I don't know who. Okay, hold on a second. I don't know who gonna get the money to. Y'all gotta share that $10. Y'all spend $10.
So they got two answers.
Okay. Edna said Brenda Smith, but Miss Nicole, Sherry Nicole said Brenda Smith, Deputy Chief. So
you gotta have them both.
Okay, so Cherie Nicole is she the inside lady?
That's Cherie. That's probably Cherie from Omaha Police.
Yeah, Cherie.
That's Lieutenant
Miss Paparazzi.
Yeah, she's another rising star with the Omaha Police Department.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to see how far she goes. In the police department, because you may be looking at, hopefully down the road, your first African American female chief of police.
Okay, yeah, she has a very calming
She
personality.
does. If
Yes.
you remember during the protest,
Mhm.
during the height of the protest,
Mhm.
the community asked for her to speak on the community's behalf
Mhm.
and on law enforcement behalf at Memorial Park.
Yep,
Mhm.
yeah, I was
Excellent
there.
job.
Yeah, she did. I told you she has a very calming effect. So if you're mad, you're gonna be like, I ain't mad no more.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's hard to be mad when you stand in front of someone and they're talking in a calm voice, and like you said, you see them as another human.
Right.
It's not a uniform. It's
Right.
not law enforcement. No, it's that individual that I'm talking to now, dialoguing with.
Right. So she come like I know she a mother, and when black women talk, oh Lord.
I think throughout the academy, I probably talk to Cherie every day.
Okay.
And through the whole testing process, I leaned on her a lot.
Okay.
So she is definitely an amazing person.
Which is kind of dangerous for me though, because I don't want to lose Tiller to Omaha Police Department. So I kept on getting Mike talking to her too, to keep pulling her back over.
Well, no,
to
she
her.
never pressured me, but she was definitely helpful.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Well, we need women on in every agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just can't get everybody. We need black women in probation, FBI, CIA,
Nebraska State Patrol.
Yep.
Nebraska State Patrol in its entire history has never had an African American female.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay, we need to talk to the Nebraska State Patrol. I wouldn't mind getting pulled over by a black female on the highway. Quiet cat, brothers were like that. Sister full me over. Oh yeah, Lord. I'll give my stuff all. I know I gotta have my stuff correct. fellas. Oh yeah. See now, fellas, I tell you, if we aspire, you know, I mean, even our spiritual law enforcement be nice. Dang, she was smelling good, but even though she handcuffed me, she was smelling good. You know, so
it's all about how you leave the encounter. You keep people with respect, and then they'll appreciate the encounter, even though it may be a negative outcome.
Yeah,
you have to treat people with respect.
Without doubt. Now I did. I'm gonna tell the truth, y'all. You know, on Tuesday is Tell Truth Tuesday. The truth is still in me. I was driving and I got pulled over, right? And I seen a brother got the car. I said, oh, listen, brother, I don't mind paying this ticket. I'm telling you, fellas, it's a relief. Let's get more of our young people to be law enforcement officers. We'll have a greater experience when we encounter them, but also those officers are there to counsel their fellow officers. See, they're purposeful. When you're off, I was the only black male probation officer, and so of course I deal with some isms, but I know I had a responsibility to my community, and so sometimes you got to deal with the isms in order to make sure that people are being treated fairly. And so the only way to change the people that got the isms is to fight through the ism, like you said. Even though they treat you this way, no, you go God's way. You take the higher road. You take the higher example, and by taking the higher example, you're teaching those that might have did something ill to you. And so we gotta give people an opportunity to redeem themselves.
You have to show through your actions that you're a child of God and He's worthy to be praised. Yep.
Without doubt. Anything else? I know it's 9:13. Obviously, y'all got I don't hear no radio calls. Y'all got crime under control. I mean, I don't know. Y'all special, so you know, y'all like superheroes. Y'all come over here and they say, "Dang, it's Superman, Batman in here, and Superman, and Wonder Woman here," and they, you know, the crooks are scattering around here. So, but no, we appreciate you. You guys are necessary, without a doubt. When I walk into the sheriff's office, we see your picture first, and it's such a blessing that your peers recognize you, no matter not because you're black, because you excel, and you just happen to be black.
Right. You know what? And I'm gonna say something as a product of North Omaha, and I said this to you the other day. We have diamonds in our community. Some of our young children are just diamonds. They just need an opportunity to shine.
Mhm.
They need someone to help polish them off, show them the direction they need to go. We need really good mentors. So if you're in the community and you have a business or you have a trade or something, reach back in our community and be a mentor. There's quite a few programs out there like the 100 Black Men. Be a mentor to a young woman, a young man, and help guide them, show them the way. I know I'm a mentor with the 100 Black Men. I have a young kid, Malachi, who's doing very well. I want to see people reach back. It's not enough for us to get these positions and say, well, I got mine. No, show somebody else how to do it.
Without a doubt. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We are about to get out of here. It is 9:15. Today is Winning Women Wednesday. Be purposeful on show love to the women in your life. I don't care if they're your daughter or your great grandmother, mother, or aunt. It doesn't make a difference. Show a little love. Let them know that you are thinking about them. Just call them, send them some flowers. You know, it's Valentine's Day coming up. It's kind of too cold to take them out right now. I don't know what we're gonna do for Valentine's. We're gonna have to make a big old fire in the middle of
There you go.
middle of the street or something. Everybody come out to Adams Park or something. But enjoy this weekend. Love is in the air. So tomorrow is Love Yourself Thursday. We want you to be purposeful and loving yourself. Can't love no one else if you don't love yourself. But again, today is acknowledge the women in your lives. Take them out to dinner, whatever it is. Today is going to be a warm day, 10 degrees. It's going to be a warm day today. So get out, enjoy the warm weather. Take them out. Give them a gift card. Happy birthday to those that have a birthday today, and condolence to those that have lost someone, without a doubt. Omaha, any parting words, any shots out? Y'all want to say hi to somebody? You want to say hi to your kids or none of that?
My parting word is for our community to stay safe, continue to wear your mask. When it's time for you to get your vaccine, please get your vaccine. I got mine, and I'm waiting to get my second shot. I know there's apprehension sometimes in our community about vaccines, but get your vaccine so we can all come out on the other side of this.
So how you feel after the vaccine?
Great.
You feel okay?
I feel great.
Okay, we're gonna use it. We're gonna watch you. We're gonna watch him, y'all.
I feel
And
great.
then, because I'm kind of apprehensive, but I do recommend older people because older people are really dying.
Yes.
And the weaker your immune system, the more likely you're to die. And so let's be wise out there. Special Deputy Tiller.
Just thank you. Stay safe. Like you said, love on your people, love on your parents, your kids, your spouses. Just love one another. That's all I could ask for.
Without a doubt. Now, are you in the courthouse or where they got you?
I'm in the courthouse.
Okay, you in the courthouse. All right. Well, so that's okay. I worked a lot of hours down there in the courthouse of probation. So be safe. That you guys are dealing with prisoners, transportation. So you in the cuffs of it all.
Yes.
People trying to get free, trying to break away, and all that. You know what I mean?
Courts are going to be opening up in March again for trial. So we ask everyone in the community be patient, stay calm when you come down to the courthouse. There's going to be a lot of things going on. There's going to be a lot of trials going on. If you cannot compose yourself, please do not come down there. Because there's going to be a lot of things going on, and we don't have a lot of time to be dealing with a lot of emotions and people getting upset. And so if you can't control your emotions, please don't come down there. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of things going on starting the 1st of March.
Without a doubt. And court procedure is, it has to be quiet. Can't use the cell phones or iPads. Just have to be respectful because people are being sentenced. People's lives are on the line. And so you just got to show respect, just like a library, really.
Yeah.
Like a library. And so just got to be respectful. Again, can't bring weapons down there. They will be checked. They have metal detectors. So to have a peaceful time, just keep your medals in your car, your coins after you pay, so your transition through the metal detector is safe. And then they know that you're safe. Okay. Any other things that they should not do? Oh, before we get out of here, what should a person do on a police stop? What do you recommend as a police, as a sheriff?
Excellent question. Excellent. when you're stopped by law enforcement, first of all, I'll say this here. If you are, let's say if you're a female and you're driving a car and it's dark and you're on a dark road, you see some lights behind you, okay? I tell females all the time, don't stop, don't pull over, put your hazards on. That lets the law enforcement officer behind you know that they see you. Call 911 and say, this is who I am, this is where I'm at, I have lights behind me. Can you tell me it's an actual law enforcement officer? They can call into that car and make sure it is a law enforcement officer and not someone impersonating them. If you can, keep driving until you get to a well-lit station like a gas station.
Okay.
Then stop. Once you're stopped, if you have tinted windows, if it's at night, or if it's not at night, depends how dark they are, roll your windows down. Okay? All four windows down.
All four or two?
All four windows down.
Okay,
So we can look in the back too.
Okay.
Put your hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2 and stay there. Do not move.
Okay.
A lot of people want to be helpful when they pull over. They want to reach in their glove box and grab their registration. Don't do that.
Or
we
get
don't know
out.
what you get. Or yeah.
Or get out.
Yeah, or they want to get out the car. Don't. Stay in the car. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. When we get to the car up there, we will tell you what to do. We'll ask for your license, registration, proof of insurance. If it's in your glove box, tell the law enforcement officer it's in my glove box. And then wait and ask them, may I retrieve them now?
Okay.
Because I have seen where an individual said, I'll get my license and reached and got shot.
Okay.
Keep your hands there. Once the law enforcement officer says, yes, go ahead and retrieve them, then they're watching you as you open the glove box, hand the information to the law enforcement officer.
Okay.
Follow the directions. If you feel that the stop was unreasonable, or if you feel the law enforcement officer did something that was not appropriate, you don't argue the situation right there on the street. You will not win that argument. Take the argument to the law enforcement officer's agency and do a formal complaint.
Okay.
I hear this all the time. Well, I got treated wrong. This happened to me on a traffic stop. And I ask them all the time, did you file a formal complaint? Well, no, I didn't. Then there's nothing we can do. You know, the way we investigate law enforcement is through a formal complaint. Then it's an official investigation. A lot of our, probably 99.9% of our law enforcement officers now have in-car cameras, so we can see the video on exactly what happened. And now we're looking at body cameras. We're testing, evaluating them under the Omaha Police Department. So we got different evidence that we can look at. So again, you have to file a formal complaint. Do not argue your point on the street. You will not win that argument.
Okay. All right. You heard from the sheriff. Again, very hand on steering wheel. These are things that my mom always taught me when I first got my license. Should they have their information in the visor?
That helps. Yep.
Is that better than the glove department?
That is, because in the glove compartment, now I have to look in and see what's going on. If it's in the visor, your hands are right there. You can just reach up, grab it real quick, and hand it to the officer. Another thing people talk about, and I'm going to touch on this real quick, is can you videotape law enforcement officers when they're doing things? The answer is yes. If you're on a public area, you can videotape. What I will say, I'll caution people on this though. If it's at night, and let's say you're in your car and you want to videotape the law enforcement officer, don't turn that light on your phone. That will blind the officer. Now it's an officer safety issue.
Okay.
But any officer that know you're videotaping, we're videotaping, it's not a big deal to us.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Especially law enforcement officers who's doing things the way it's supposed to be done.
And the light at night, that's common sense because it can blind the officer in order to distract. And and for real criminals, that's what they will do.
Yep. And I tell people all the time, stay calm, give the information to the officer. Typically what happens is the respect that you give is the respect that you will get.
Okay.
Now, law enforcement officers are always supposed to be professional. My mentor told me one time, and I love this saying, he says, when he reviews a videotape of an incident, it should be abundantly clear who is the trained professional in the video.
Right.
If my law enforcement officer is cussing, swearing, all upset, that's not a trained professional. We're trained to stay calm. Even though you go, the citizen may go to a certain point, we don't have to go there. Stay calm, and typically you bring that citizen down.
Okay. So the ability to de-escalate.
Correct.
Right.
Communication is a very, very important tactic. Any other advice for citizens, because that is the highest basic contact point is the people getting pulled over. I know domestic violence is high up there.
That's a dangerous call. Yep, that's
It's
a very
just-
dangerous
yes,
call.
especially for law enforcement. People don't perceive domestic violence calls as dangerous, but they are.
They are very dangerous.
Because when you talk about emotions,
Emotions are high, and now you're going into someone's home, and you know, someone's home is their castle. What people don't understand is if we get called there, we have a duty, a responsibility to investigate that call. So what we can't do if it's a husband and wife situation, we can't have people walking all around the house. No, we need to separate the individuals, talk to them to find out what's going on. Now, Nebraska law says if there's evidence of a crime, we find out who the aggressor is. If there's, you know, someone has been assaulted and they have marks, the other person has to be arrested. They have to go to jail. That's when it gets dangerous because 9 times out of 10, it's the female calling on the male. And then when it comes to the point where we're making the arrest, now the female's thinking, no, okay, there goes most times the breadwinner, and now she turns on us. We have no discretion when it comes to some DV calls. We have to make the arrest.
Interesting. How can individuals get in contact with the sheriff's office since they missed this class? How can they get involved with the next opportunity?
We have our testing goes through what's called Morrill and Associates. If you just Google Morrill and Associates, Omaha, Nebraska, and sign up, what's going to happen is the next time the testing process opens, they'll send you an email or send you a postcard, let you know the testing process is open. And again, I encourage, it's a nationwide problem trying to get minorities to apply, but we have a different community here. We have a real caring community. So I know we have a number of individuals in our community who want to help law enforcement. And this is the thing, we have plenty of positions in law enforcement, not just sworn. We have forensics, we have our tech positions, we have process servers. So go to the City of Omaha website, go to Douglas County's website, HR, and look and see what positions are out there. 911 is always hiring. Douglas County Corrections is always hiring. There are a number of good government jobs out there, steady government jobs. I have never heard of the City of Omaha or the Omaha, especially the Omaha Police Department and my agency doing layoffs or cutbacks. It just doesn't happen in law enforcement.
All right. Well, Omaha, the Birds of Bluffs, we are out of here. It is 8:27. Did you see your part words, Mademoiselle? Do you see your shots out?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I want to make sure. I'm going to get in trouble over here, y'all. All right, y'all. Omaha, the Birds of Bluffs, we are out of here. Boss with us. All right.
It's just a public service announcement.
Are you tired of hearing about the coronavirus? Well, it's real.
I'm telling you, it's real. Now here's what I want you all to do for me. Check this out, man.
Don't panic. If you're sick, stay home.
Stay away from me. It's contagious.
Stay at least 6 feet away from others.
The most dangerous disease.
Coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently and practice good hygiene.
Stand and show these people what time it is, boy.
We can stop the spread of the virus.
Coronavirus. Cover your mouth. Say it.
So stay home, stop the spread, save lives. Most importantly, let's check on our elderly.
Word up, you ain't going out like this.
We're here to keep you informed.
Coronavirus. Just get it real. Don't believe the hype.
In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.
Don't believe the hype.
Are you a business person fed up with working for someone else? Are you in sales and tired of traveling for and selling for a company you don't own? You could partner with iTex, the country's largest retail trade exchange. iTex helps individuals and businesses increase sales, move idle inventory, open new markets, and build cash profit. Now is a great time to partner with us in this fast-growing business. Visit omaha.itex.com. Become an iTex partner. Visit omaha.itex.com.
It's just a public service announcement.
Are you tired of hearing about the coronavirus?
Coronavirus.
Well, it's real.
I'm telling you, it's real. Now here's what I want you all to do for me. Check this out, man.
Don't panic. If you're sick, stay home.
Stay away from me. It's contagious.
Stay at least 6 feet away from others.
The most dangerous disease.
Coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently and practice good hygiene. We can stop the spread of the virus.
Coronavirus! Cover your mouth!
So stay home, stop the spread, save lives. Most importantly, let's check on our elderly.
Word up, you ain't going out like this.
We're here to keep you informed.
Coronavirus!
In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.
Are you a business person fed up with working for someone else? Are you in sales and tired of traveling for and selling for a company you don't own? You could partner with iTex, the country's largest retail trade exchange. iTex helps individuals and businesses increase sales, move idle inventory, open new markets, and build cash profit. Now is a great time to partner with us in this fast-growing business. Visit omaha.itex.com. Become an iTex partner. Visit omaha.itex.com.
Love to see you shine in the night like the diamond you are. I'm good on the side, so that just hold me in the dark. No one's got to know what we do. Hit me up when you call. I live down the street, so we meet when you need and it's yours. All I is, nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better. Nothing feels better than this. Nothing feels better.